Hello and welcome to our channel. My name is Tia and I am one half of Cameron and Tia. We are a husband and wife photography team based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today, I am going to have you join me to blog a wedding. So one way that we love to serve our clients with intentionality is by doing a blog post the Tuesday after their wedding. Typically at this point, our clients have already seen a preview and typically that's a same day slideshow the night of their wedding. Then what we do is we put together a blog post that's typically about 100+ images. And it shows really every part of the day, from some getting ready to bridesmaids to their first kiss, their first dance, a little highlight of everything. We are curating it to what's going to look best on our blog and what's going to serve future clients, but the number one priority is serving those current clients. This is something that they share with their friends and family, and it typically blows up on social media. So today I'm going to take you with me and take you into my computer screen and show you all the steps to getting a blog post ready to rumble. Now, before we do that, this is just one piece of our entire client workflow. If you want to learn about every single step of our client workflow, we have a business course that takes you through the entire process, from right when that inquiry lands in your inbox all the way to delivering their final gallery and collecting reviews. We show you every single step along the way, the programs that we use, the tools that we use, how we automate it and make it efficient. If you're interested, there's a link in our description. Let's jump right in. Okay, welcome to my computer. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to go into this folder. I'm going to highlight all of the blog images and drag them into BlogStomp. It's going to take just a second to load. So while I'm loading, I'm going to go to the back end of our website, which our website is Show It, and so the back end is WordPress. So I'm going to just hide this for a second while I log in. Okay, and so then you go to posts, all posts, and we have a drafted post here that is called Sarah and Logan. That is the wedding we're going to be working on. This is prepared by our Director of Operations, Shelby, who puts together all of the links for all of the vendors that we gathered from their questionnaire. If you need help with a questionnaire for your wedding clients, you just don't know what to ask, you're really lost on like what information you need to gather, what's integral, what's super important, we have a questionnaire in our shop that's super affordable that has literally all of this info. So I'm going to jump over to BlogStomp. What I do first is I go to Settings, and then I go to Output, and I am going to do a custom file name because I want all of the images to be replaced, Urban Daisy Minneapolis Wedding, with something searchable. So in this case, it's going to be short and sweet. It's going to be the venue. This was our first time at the venue and we absolutely loved it. And so we definitely want to rank. And then as you saw, I just set it to 1 so that it'll start over at 1. So the first thing that I do is probably the hardest thing that I do for the blog, and it is creating a header image. And so the first thing is I am looking for a horizontal image of the couple. I love something that's a little bit close up. So like this, I don't really love unless it's like the most epic image ever. This I love. I wish it was a tiny bit closer. And so sometimes for this image, I will use this feature, just this image in the blog. I won't zoom in on any other ones because we're going to deliver these images to the couple. So we don't want any weird crops or anything like that. Then I'm going to find some details that feel really emblematic of the day and that I don't want to be full size. So maybe this is good because it has the black and the white that's going to pull in from them. This was a really fast-paced day. Hair actually finished about 45 minutes late, and in winter, even more so. That is really, really tricky. This is kind of cool because it's kind of action-y. It does bring in this taupe, so I need to find something else taupe. We can obviously make up a pretty good chunk of time by doing portraits faster. Again, that means you get less photos because you're trying to make up time and you're trying to go fast, 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 fast. So I have 2 detail photos of the invitation suite, so maybe this is something fun. And actually, I'm going to swap it to be this one. I like this one less, so it's okay being closer up. I then switch to, oh, it's right there. I was literally looking at it. You can manually switch things, which I'm going to show you in a second. So if you drag over, you can switch images that way. So this is kind of nice because it breaks up these taupe. I think this is more the focus, so I kind of want this more in the center. This feels a little busy because it feels like I have both those backdrops next to each other there. That's nice. I like that a lot. Okay, so this is going to be their header image. So then when you're done with it, you can literally just press enter. It exports it to a folder and it names it that Urban Daisy Minneapolis Wedding #1. So what I was saying is it's hard to make up time in the winter. A, because you have to go in and out to keep people warm, so you're already kind of at a lack of time. B, because the sun goes down. You have a limited amount of time to make up shots. So we were going pretty fast this day, so I don't have a lot of kind of like extra shots from this day. We really kind of have like the minimum to like tell the story. So I like to pair typically like a really nice invitation suite. They didn't really have a full invitation suite, so like this is kind of as full as it gets is the program. So I guess I could do this actually. That's probably what I would do. And then I will swap them because I like having this first. This is like introing the location. So then I'm going to press enter. So after this, it'll start going pretty fast. So I'm going to pull another horizontal. We actually have a lot of horizontals in this detail blog gallery, which is kind of unique for us. So I'm going to do this one completely by itself, get a little vertical moment in there. Then I'm going to do this other invitation suite for some variety. And then I'm going to pair the detail with the bar, which just really tells the scene of the venue. And I'm going to finish with these rings. So I kind of think about each part as its own section. So next, I like to just organize these just to make sure that I'm not going to miss anything. So I'm going to bring like all of the groom getting ready and all of the bride getting ready side by side. Again, that's just so I don't miss any and then that I can kind of keep them in order. And I like doing the groom getting ready here first because she did both a bridesmaid reveal, as you can see here, and a dad reveal. So I want those to go like kind of back to back. And then he did his own little reveal with the dads and the groomsmen. So I'm going to finish with that. So now here's the ladies. We're just going to go in order here. So it's just them smiling and then it's them giggling. And then now on to Sarah getting ready. So I have this shot of her just in her slippers, which I think is cute. I would typically want to pair that with something else that made sense, like if I had a detail, like if I had just the champagne or just her rings or something. So instead, I'm going to actually start with this one. That's telling the story more of like, okay, here comes getting ready. And then I'm going to pair this with this shot. I want to break up these two because they're really similar, like angle, orientation, like type of negative space. So I'm going to do that. And then you can see like the mirror one is on the right. So I'm going to put the mirror one on the left for this. Perfect. That's actually in order with the detail. That looks really good. So then we're going to do the bridesmaid reveal just in order. So horizontal landscape image, setting the scene, them reacting. So I flagged all of these images yesterday and then Cam edits them and it's a really fast turnaround for the blog, but it works and it's really fun for our couples. So then here's this dad reveal. Oh, so nice. Happy paired with an emotional shot. I really like that. So then for the reaction, I am going to do this. And really this next image is his actual like first reaction. But again, I kind of want to change up the crop. Like this one's a little bit wider, this one's a little tighter. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to be able to do this. That's really similar to the first one. That's why I didn't want to pair it with this. But I'm actually going to swap them again so that, you know, looking side by side, this wider one is going to be not next, you know, not up and down with this other wider one that we just did. So I'm going to do that. And then this is the final shot of their first look. I'm going to make that a standalone. So then I love doing a classic portrait with a really tight shot like this. That looks epic. So individual portraits we're now at. I love to mix these up, and we actually only did individual portraits once this day. Again, because we were kind of moving with some speed, there wasn't a lot of like extra frills or like tons of other, individual portraits at this location and then individual portraits outside. So I am going to mix up with a huge shot with the detail of him. Wow, that looks amazing. Then I'm going to drop down and I'm going to do some more couples portraits. So I'm going to mix these in here. I even really like, so you can see we didn't do a lot more couples portraits here because we're going to do them outside later. I like something like this, a couples portraits with a bridal portrait, especially because they have the different backgrounds. This one's tighter. This has a lot of negative space. Love. And then I'm going to do one more of them. Maybe. How about this? Her detail. And then I had her on this side over here. So again, I'm just looking to change it up, keep it interesting. I don't love this. I actually don't love her on this side with this shot. Actually, no, that's even weirder. because it just feels like it cuts her off. So I'm going to actually try like her. Okay, I like this more. Ooh, I like that. Okay, where it's kind of framing it. And so then it has them side by side. And then I'm going to do this one. And then we're going to finish with him. Okay, so then in Bridesmaids and Groomsmen, we did them a couple different times. And I don't want to have them all mixed up. So you'll see we then went over to the venue and got some outdoor portraits. The ceremony happened. And then we needed a few more of them. So we actually took them outside here. I don't want to have this all mixed up here. So I'm going to actually drag this all the way up and we're going to put it up here with them. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring family portraits here too. So again, I just want everything in the same order. You can see that Blog Stomp's telling me that I don't need to drag things around. I know. I just want everything in an order that's really cohesive so that I don't miss anything and I can see everything here on the left-hand side. So I love to mix up this entire section. I think it keeps it really interesting. I like to do, obviously, big shots with a little more detail. That's fun. I'm going to mix up the location. So now we just went bridesmaids. I'm going to pull something of the family. Great. Then I'm going to pull something of the groomsmen. So I also like to mix up the... Ooh, I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that because this just like blends in with this. It feels like the same texture even though it's not. And then we have this super wide that's more like, you know, location specific, and then this tight shot. Yeah, so I love to mix up the dip pics with the horizontal. Now I'm going to scroll back up. I'm going to do something else inside since we've been outside for a little. I typically like to finish with something that feels very iconic bridal party. So I'm going to finish with this actually. So I'm going to save this. So here's this tight one. I need to find something with a lot of negative space. Could maybe be this. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go to something tighter like the ladies here. So I've got this family shot and it needs to pair with something tighter. Let's see this. Yeah, that looks great. So this is Sarah and Logan. We actually met Sarah in 2018. And she has been a guest at 6 weddings up until her own. So and Logan has been at a ton of those too. So when we met Sarah, they actually were not dating yet. And now it was an honor for us to be able to photograph their wedding. They are just literally pure joy. I always tell them they fit together so well. And I don't mean like physically. I mean, physically they do. They fit together really, really well. But they just are such a great match for each other. So I'm actually thinking this is one of my favorite images. I want this to be by itself. So I'm going to mix it up right now and throw in a vertical. But they are just really, really kind. But both of them each bring like their own kind of, I don't know, pizzazz. So I don't love these side by side, but here I am at the end. And so I especially don't love how we like train. Actually, you know, I don't love it so much. I'm not going to do it. So I was going to say I'm at the end, so I might as well just put them together, but I'm not going to. Yeah, they just both kind of each bring their own flavor that's really, really fun. And we were so excited when they reached out. This summer, we did an engagement session with them where they borrowed his brother's canoe and they went out on Lake Harriet. So now we're at the ceremony. I'm going to set the scene outdoors first. So I'm going to maybe do like this with the signage. And I'm going to swap it up because I want them to say like, okay, here's the place we're at. And now it's this. Okay, so then here's her coming down the aisle. Here's a shot. There was like a mezzanine up above that I was on top of, and then Cam is actually up here. And Cam gives me some black and white images sometimes to choose from, especially in maybe some ceremonies that don't have the best lighting. So I'm going to add those in. I like those a lot. They look really good. And I like black and white for a ceremony too. So here's her walking up the aisle. Here's him tearing up, which is so sweet. And then, yeah, they really loved all the marble is Italian marble. And it just has a really cool look. And so they were really excited about that. So there's a shot from the mezzanine. There's them lighting their unity candle. Here's their first kiss from the mezzanine, which we always like try to get something extra and epic like that if there's the opportunity. And then here's Cam's angle literally right immediately after of them celebrating. That's so cute. Here's him dipping her down the aisle, which he was clearly very excited about. And just a classic portrait at the front of the church. So one thing about Block Stomp, just so you're aware, is that coloring in here is not 100% correct. And you'll see when I upload it into WordPress, like especially things like this where it has kind of like, I don't know, ambient light or like window light or like something like that, where it looks a little bit grainier here almost. It kind of like blurs it all out. So it won't quite look like that. And I just have to keep that in mind when doing this. So now we quickly went out for sunset and we only took one photo here. This is literally us walking to the car. It was freaking freezing. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to do an epic veil first. We also took a lot of big shots here, which is kind of tough to pair, you know? So I'm going to pair these two. And then I'm going to do the horizontal. So I can switch these orders once I go into WordPress. It's really easy once you upload a gallery to be able to swap that around. Okay, so now here's the reception. So let me see this black and white that Cam gave me first. Okay, because it has a little bit of yellow lighting on it, but I still like the full venue shot. I think it really feels like the ambiance of it. We debated shooting flash for these detail shots or not, because as you can see, it's getting pretty dark out. But I think I like them as is. So biggest venue shot I'm going to put first always. Then I like to add in some detail. So I have this huge shot of the charcuterie. I don't really have another vertical detail that's smaller. So let's do this one. Actually, that's it. That's smaller. Normally if they have like some sort of florals or something, that'll be really nice to have a portrait of that. And then I'm going to do another venue shot. And then I'm going to do this. Okay, and then he gave me some black and whites just to mix up cocktail hour. We just like to include some grip and grins. The nice thing is a lot of times we can just include, you know, some people that were a great vibe, were really kind to us. Obviously, we have grip and grins of everyone that we took photos of, but these guys were really, really kind to us. And so I'm actually this is taken right before the dance floor. We'll get more photos then when there's kind of like a downtime, but I typically add those to like cocktail hour vibes just so that you have like grip and grins back to back instead of kind of breaking up the dance floor. And so then Cam also gave me the black and white. Wow, that's a pretty black and white, but I did the colors. So now here's them entering the reception. Cute. That's super fun. And then toast, generally I just go in order. You'll see like I have, so they stood, which you can see, sorry, you can't really see from this photo. They're standing on the other side of their parents here. You can see in this photo, like this, so that they could look right at them. Love this, you guys. I think this was a 10 out of 10 move. Not only can they fully see the speaker and like react to the speaker, everybody can see them. All the guests can see them. Like, oh, 10 out of 10. So in most cases, I go in order. I'm going to actually start with this one so that it's setting the scene a little bit more. Unless I have like just reactions back to back. So you can see right here, I have reactions back to back. I'm going to mix those up a little. So here's her parents. So that was his parents. Here's her parents speaking. I'm going to do a reaction here of some groomsmen cracking up. And then I have two of these guys reacting. Cute. I love that. I love that. I love that. So I'm going to do this one first. And then I'm going to do a reaction of the groomsmen. And then I'm going to do one more of them to her sister speaking. And then here is them toasting. I love that. If that was me, I would print that and put that in my house. Okay, we don't always include cake cutting in in blogs, but I think this is super cute. This is super funny. Like, it's just full of personality. Like, sometimes I feel like this is more personality than like any props. I mean, obviously we're like egging them on and stuff, but I just feel like that's really fun. Okay, wow. Pretty. So I'm gonna do a classic one of them first, and because I want to mix up the horizontal and vertical. So this is of all of our Cameron and Tia couples that were at this wedding. So at Tess and Jeremy's wedding is where we initially met Sarah, and this was in 2018. This was in 2019, Kaylee and Charlie's. These guys got married first in 2020, and then at 2021, they did a vow renewal, and then obviously these guys just got married. So it's super fun. We love to be able to take this shot if possible. It just means so much to us. Okay, next step is I go into this blog post that I open, and I am first going to upload an image. So with the image, I'm going to go to desktop, and then I have it in Stomped. It automatically creates this for me. Okay, for some reason, it did not save my output. So That's really annoying because these are all labeled the wrong thing, so I'm going to have to fix that. That literally happens to me maybe like once every 2 years, and it's happening right now. So I don't know why that happened. After that, I go down here, and I'm going to add a gallery. And so then I select the second image, which is image 94 in this case, and add a gallery. So I like to stay on this page while it's loading. Something has been happening to me lately, and I'm going to cross my fingers that doesn't happen. Oh, it's happening right there, where it says this is not a valid JSON response. I've literally Googled it. I am so confused what's happening. Like, it's just the weirdest thing ever. See, these don't load like this. And it's so frustrating because then I have to manually add them in. So if someone can solve this problem for me, I will buy you a Starbucks gift card. Is I have to go upload that, and I have to go like manually add that one. So 94, 95, 96. Okay, you do not want to watch this. I'm going to come back to you. Okay, I'm back. So I loaded all those in. Then what I do is select parent gallery, and it'll pull up different options. I go columns 1 because we already chose how we want it to look, and I don't want it to crop the images. So then what I do is I, in my notes, will have written something for their blog post. I am not a very good writer. I am really trying hard to be, but what I do is the day after the wedding or sometimes the night of, I'll write down some important things from their day so that I don't forget. And I will voice text these to myself, and then I will kind of edit them to get a starting place. Typically, like, I have a paragraph that focuses on the wedding and then a paragraph that focuses on the couple. So now, something unique for this is I'm actually going to go back into Blogstop. Gonna make sure my output. What? See how I didn't change it? So, Urban Daisy wedding. We are doing something fun for Sarah's wedding because she has been at a ton of weddings we've photographed, and we want to just kind of highlight that and show that, and then Logan has been at a ton as well. So I'm gonna go in order. So the Reller wedding is first. So here's Sarah when we first met her in 2018 with that bride test that I showed you. So I'm going to do that, and then there's some dance floor. So these don't need to be like a huge thing. I'm going to make these like a little bit smaller. I actually went back and found these. Fun fact, so this is Sarah. This is Emily. We shot her senior photos. We shot Bennett's senior photos here. This is Connor, who we didn't realize that we had met until he was a groomsman in a wedding 2 weekends ago. And then this is Kaylee. This is one of our brides. Just insane. Like, it's a small world. Like, you don't realize the impact and the people that you meet at weddings until you're like looking back on this years later. So here's Sarah. She was a bridesmaid in Kaylee's wedding. So I'm going to do that. And then there's them. They dance together. So they're hooking like that. And then here's them at, this is Natalie and Matt's wedding. Logan and Sarah together here. And then here's them at Elizabeth and Tommy's wedding. So this was in 2021. And then here's them with the whole group. Here's Kaylee again that we were talking about. And then here's them on the dance floor. That's so cute. And then here's them. They were just at a wedding 2 weekends ago, Jamie and John's. And then this is actually, Raina was a bridesmaid in Sarah's wedding. This is Natalie, who was one of our brides. Here is a photo of all of the couples that were Cameron and Tia couples at Jamie and John's wedding. And so here's Sarah and Logan. Yay! I just think that's so fun. And we're excited to add that in. So I'm going to put that right here, which is, again, not something we typically do, but something that we want to highlight. Okay, so I already have that written. So then there's some final touches that I do. I am going to scroll all the way down. Urban Daisy Wedding. So this is already inputted by Shelby. And then I need a meta description. So what I do is I typically take something from here. The thing is, I kind of go in talking about the venue, and then I give this sentence. So I'm going to actually use this sentence. You don't want to miss this. I like to add calls to action there. Select featured image. So I'm going to choose something that just feels like very iconic their day. So it's definitely going to be one of these. I like to choose a horizontal just because it looks better on our blog. This image, which it needs to look good both horizontally, and we try to have it look good vertically too. So like this. Oh, how about this? Yeah, that's freaking cute. Okay, now I'm just going to check this. So tag is the venue. We do weddings. Now I like to bop over here and I like to look at SEO analysis and key phrase density. So that's the only thing I didn't get, but the key phrase is in the introduction. And then if these are green, then it's good to go. Like it's going to be ranking well, and I think that's really awesome. So the other thing that I do in here is I add a link, download the images here. 2 reasons we blog. A, for the couple, and that's the primary reason. I'm just copying the link to their gallery. B, this is an advertising platform for us. This is showing future couples what they could expect from their wedding day. And even more so, we want our couples to be able to take this and share it and send it to their friends and family for them to be able to check it out too. And so when people get here, they don't know anything about the images. They don't know anything. So they'll just like screenshot things. We don't want them to do that. So we just put this link here because then people can go to their gallery and they can just be able to get the actual images. So I'm going to do publish, and then we're going to refresh this, see if it pops up. Sarah and Logan. Oh, cute. I like it with that image. That just feels very, the 2 of them, they're classy. And we're going to check it out. Yay, we did it. All done. Woohoo! We hope that was so helpful to jump right inside our computer and see the entire process. If you'd love to see tutorials that are step-by-step like this, drop a comment down below. I love to chat in the comment section. Be sure to like and subscribe for future videos, and until next time, bye!